Hello, my friend. Welcome back to Easy English Journey. My name is Alex. I am very happy that you are here today. Thank you for joining me again. In our last episode, we talked about vocabulary. We learned that you can speak English even when you do not know many words. We learned that communication is more important than knowing every word. Today, we will talk about grammar. Grammar is important. Grammar helps us build correct sentences. Grammar helps people understand us clearly. But many learners have a problem. They worry too much about grammar when they speak. Maybe you do this too. Maybe you start a sentence. Then you stop. Then you think about grammar. Then you change the sentence. Then you become nervous. And finally, you say nothing. If this sounds familiar, today's episode is for you. Let's begin. First, I want you to know something important. Grammar is important, but communication is more important. Think about that for a moment. If your grammar is perfect but you never speak, your communication is zero. If your grammar is not perfect but people understand you, communication happens. And communication is the goal. Many learners believe they must create perfect sentences every time they speak. But this is not realistic. Even native speakers do not speak perfectly all the time. Sometimes they make mistakes. Sometimes they change a sentence in the middle. Sometimes they use simple grammar. That is normal. Real communication is not always perfect. Let's imagine a simple situation. Someone asks, "What did you do yesterday?" You want to answer, but then your brain starts working very hard. You think about verb forms. You think about grammar rules. You think about mistakes. And while you are thinking, the conversation stops. This happens to many learners. Now imagine a different learner. The same question comes. The learner says, "I visited my friend yesterday." Maybe the sentence is not perfect. Maybe there is a small mistake. But the learner communicates the idea. The conversation continues. This is progress. This is real practice. Tip number 1. Focus on the message. When you speak, ask yourself, what do I want to say? Do not ask, how can I create the most perfect sentence? Focus on meaning first, communication first, perfection later. Tip number 2. Use grammar you already know. Many learners try to use difficult grammar. Then they become confused. Use simple grammar. Use familiar grammar. Simple sentences are powerful. Simple sentences are clear. Tip number 3. Keep speaking. If you make a mistake, continue. Do not stop after every sentence. Do not correct yourself every few seconds. Keep the conversation moving. The more you speak, the more natural speaking becomes. Tip number 4. Learn grammar during study time. Use English during speaking time. This is very important. When you study, focus on grammar. When you speak, focus on communication. These are different activities. Trying to do both at the same time can be difficult. Now let's talk about confidence. Many learners lose confidence because of grammar mistakes. They think, my grammar is bad. I cannot speak. But grammar mistakes do not mean communication failure. Many conversations happen successfully even when grammar is not perfect. People understand ideas. People understand meaning. That is what matters most. Think about children learning their first language. Children make grammar mistakes, lots of grammar mistakes. But they keep speaking, they keep communicating, and little by little, their grammar improves. English learners can learn in a similar way. Practice first, improve over time. Another important idea is fluency. Fluency does not mean perfect grammar. Fluency means expressing ideas smoothly. Fluency means communicating without stopping all the time. When learners worry too much about grammar, fluency often becomes weaker. When learners focus on communication, fluency often becomes stronger. Let's look at a simple example. Sentence 1. I go to the store yesterday. The grammar is not perfect. Sentence 2. Yesterday, I visited the store. The grammar is better. But notice something important. Most people can understand both sentences. The message is clear. Communication still happens. Of course, improving grammar is a good goal. Grammar helps you become more accurate. Grammar helps you express more ideas. But accuracy develops gradually. Nobody learns all grammar rules in 1 week. Nobody becomes perfect overnight. Learning takes time. Now let's imagine 2 learners. The first learner speaks often. They make grammar mistakes, but they continue speaking. The second learner waits until their grammar is perfect, so they rarely speak. After several months, who will usually improve more? Often the first learner. Why? Because communication creates experience. Experience creates confidence. And confidence encourages more practice. Another useful idea is listening. When you listen to English regularly, you hear grammar naturally. You hear common patterns. You hear common sentence structures. Little by little, your brain becomes familiar with them. This is one reason why listening is so valuable. In this next part, I will use slightly longer sentences. Still simple, still clear, but a little longer. This will help your listening improve step by step. Many learners believe that speaking well means speaking with perfect grammar. But communication is much more than grammar alone. Good communication includes confidence, clarity, listening, and the ability to express ideas. Grammar supports communication, but it should not stop communication. When you focus too much on every grammar rule while speaking, conversations become stressful. You may become nervous. You may hesitate. And you may stop speaking altogether. A better approach is to use the grammar you already know and continue communicating. Then, over time, your grammar improves through study, listening, reading, and practice. This approach helps you become both fluent and accurate. Remember that every strong English speaker was once a beginner. Every fluent speaker once made simple grammar mistakes. Learning a language is a journey, not a race. You do not need perfect grammar today. You only need progress today. And progress comes from practice. Before we finish today's episode, I want you to remember 3 things. First, communication is more important than perfection. Second, use the grammar you already know. Third, do not let grammar stop you from speaking. Remember these ideas. Practice them often. Trust the process. And keep speaking. You have reached the end of today's episode, and I am proud of you. Today, you learned a healthier way to think about grammar. Today, you learned that communication comes first. Today, you took another step forward. Keep speaking. Keep listening. Keep practicing. Little by little, your grammar will improve. Little by little, your fluency will grow. And little by little, English will feel more natural. Thank you for listening. My name is Alex, and this is Easy English Journey. Take care, keep learning, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.